Hey y'all, I'm Rylan. Welcome to my channel. Every once in a while, I get asked the question, how do you get so many arcs? So in today's video, I'm going to be answering that question and giving y'all 4 different ways that I tend to get my arcs, both my physical and my digital copies. I'm just gonna go ahead and dive right into it. I have the different ways on this little sticky note right here, and I'm super excited to share with y'all, just how I get my arcs. I will have probably a ton of links in the description down below for further research or just finding more information about how to get arcs if you are interested in doing so. I'll definitely have NetGalley link down below, as well as maybe some influencer sign up sheets if I can find them online and other things like that. So jumping right in, the first way that I tend to get most of my arcs, I would say probably 85% of the arcs that I get are from NetGalley. Now, if you're new to the book community, ARC stands for Advanced Reader Copy or Advanced Review Copy. So this is a way to read books before they get published, and you can write a review for them, and just share the love on these books before they are released to everyone. So NetGalley is the first place that I go when it comes to ARCs. NetGalley is a website where publishers can upload manuscripts or advanced copies of the books that they're getting ready to publish. I would say these arcs are usually placed on the site between 6 and 9 months before their release date. As a reader, you can sign up and become a reviewer on NetGalley. You can search literally every single book, maybe not literally, but almost every single book is on there if there are advanced copies of it. You can request it and the publisher of that book can choose to approve or deny you. And if you get approved for it, you can download the book to your device, you can download the ARC to your device, read it, provide a review for it on NetGalley, and you can improve your reader or your review ratio. NetGalley is kind of fun because there is this thing called a ratio, a feedback ratio, where basically the more books that you receive and review, the higher your ratio gets. So they do like to recommend that your ratio is at least at 80%. I've personally never had my ratio get that high before, but I haven't had a problem yet. I still receive a ton of digital arcs on there and I review them and it's awesome. Would recommend NetGalley 100%. There are also badges that you can earn and they're just kind of fun. I don't know, I kind of like the way that the NetGalley dashboard is set up. I love being able to kind of have those incentives, even if they don't really mean anything in the long run. It's still kind of fun. And sometimes they do help you just be more likely to get more arcs from different publishers, maybe more highly sought out arcs and things like that. Very similar to NetGalley, there's also a romance digital arc site called Valentine PR. If you're into romance, would highly recommend checking out this indie publishing arc thing, system, website, whatever. I don't know how what you call it. Basically, this is a website where people help indie romance authors share their books before their release dates. There are some pretty big indie romance authors who use Valentine PR to distribute arcs. I know Kay Webster has been on there before, Monica Murphy, Amelia Wilde. A bunch of pretty popular romance authors are on there, and I personally love Valentine PR. They're not as big as NetGalley is, but I think they have a lot of readers who get tons of arcs from them, and I personally love that website and would highly recommend it. I will have a link to their site down in the description as well if you're a romance reader or want to read romance and would like to request some arcs from them. So that's the first way that I get arcs. That is all purely digital stuff. The second way that I get arcs, this time physical arcs, are through Facebook groups. I am in a couple of different Facebook groups where people love to swap and trade. A lot of people are very willing to swap their arcs for finished copies, so I have done that before. Almost every single arc up here that I have has been found in those Facebook groups. Selling advanced copies is very frowned upon, and it makes me really sad that people do it anyway. But I do love trading and swapping with other readers. If they have something that I want to read and I have something that they want to read, it just works out perfectly. So I will have links to those groups as well in the description. I will have links to those Facebook groups in the description down below. They are mostly like comprised of US readers, but I have seen multiple posts from international readers, from people from Canada, things like that. So I think that these are groups that are open to anybody from any place, but there are probably also like buy, sell, and swap groups specifically for like certain places such as the US, the UK, etc. So highly recommend searching those up on Facebook if you have an account on there. That is how I've gotten a ton of ARCs. Yeah, and I've just swapped with other people. So that's the second way that I tend to get my ARCs. The third way that I get my ARCs is through giveaways. Goodreads loves to do giveaways for US readers. Some of the books that I enter giveaways for are also open to readers in Canada, so it probably takes a little bit of like scrolling to find those books that are open to those readers, but there are definitely some on there. I have personally won 4 or 5 books from Goodreads giveaways. I've won 2 physical copies of ARCs, like one of them is right here, and then I've also won 2 or 3 ebooks from them as well. I have entered a ton of giveaways, so like it's kind of hard to win them, but it's definitely possible. And basically when a book does show up from Goodreads, it's kind of a super awesome feeling. So that's another way that I get, ARCs. It doesn't happen very often, but giveaways are definitely possible. And then the 4th/5th ways that I tend to get my ARCs, I'm going to kind of just combine them because they do kind of go hand in hand. So this final way is through publishers directly. There's a couple different ways that you can do this. First one is through like an influencer sign up. A lot of publishing houses do have a form that you can fill out or a way that you can sign up to become an influencer for their company. Usually this means you can get like a book or 2 every single month. I have been an influencer for William Morrow since 2020. I started doing the same thing with Avon last year. It's been a lot of fun. Every month I get like an email and there's like a different like list of books that I can choose from, and I can usually choose between like 2 and 4. So that's always really fun. I will say that William Morrow has put a pause on their like influencer stuff currently. So like influencers are not getting anything from them at the moment, which is totally fine. I don't really like the word influencer because like my channel and my like Bookstagram aren't that big, but that's like what the emails are called. I think William Morrow uses like the term like tastemakers, like their influencers are called tastemakers. I don't know. Anyway, so a lot of publishers do have like influencer signups. I will have links in the description down below for any that I can find. Usually it takes some like finagling, is that how you pronounce that word? On like their websites, but there usually is something somewhere. But if they do not have an influencer sign up, you can usually email somebody at the publishing company. I have done this several times. I have gotten 1 ARC from doing that so far, but it was awesome. It was super exciting. It was a digital ARC, but like I still cried a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, so the way that I usually go about this is in the subject line, I will put like the title of the book that I'm requesting, as well as like the words like ARC request. In the actual email, I will introduce myself, share why I am requesting that specific title, and I will also give a bunch of stats from my Bookstagram, my Booktube, Goodreads, stuff like that. I will also maybe share some like links to different posts or videos if I've read a different book from that publishing company, just to kind of show that there is a connection between me and that publisher, even if it's just like super duper small in the fact that like I have read 1 book from them in the past. As I mentioned, haven't had a ton of success with this way yet, but it has worked one time and I am going to keep trying until I keep getting more. Anyway, I have seen a lot of like really big book bloggers, Bookstagrammers, Booktubers do this though. There are a lot of different blog posts out there sharing different tips and tricks about how, that you can best reach a publisher through sending an email like that. There are usually very specific emails that you are supposed to send those requests to. So make sure you like look at the very like fine print on their websites, usually under the contact info or like media requests, stuff like that. There will be a very specific email to send that request to. Also, one recommendation for those as well is to also just go ahead and include your address right at the bottom of the email. This cuts out some unnecessary like back and forth between you and the publisher. If you just go ahead and say like, if you would like to send me a copy, here's my address, they can just go ahead and send it to you if they choose to do so. I think that, yeah, that helps a lot because publishers probably are swamped with emails every single day. They're not gonna have time to respond to everybody who would like an advanced copy of something. So I think that that cuts out, yeah, just some unnecessary back and forth. Yeah, and maybe you can get your ARC faster that way. Those are a couple of different ways that I tend to get my advanced copies, whether they be digital or physical copies. Personally, NetGalley is my favorite. It will always be my favorite. NetGalley and I are BFFs. No shame about it. I don't have a problem. We're fine. It's fine. I will say that my NetGalley ratio is up to like 61% right now, so I'm kind of thriving. Anyway, I hope that this is a helpful video. I have been doing ARC stuff since 2020 and I've honestly just had such a fun time with it. I'm hoping to keep doing it for a long time. Yeah, and I'm hoping to improve my NetGalley ratio. I'm hoping to stay on top of reading the ARCs that I get. I'm hoping, yes, I need to actually read my ARCs, but I do have a fun time collecting them. I do have a fun time requesting them on NetGalley, and yeah, I'm working on it. It's getting higher. We're doing better about it. So I'm excited to keep doing that, and I'm excited to, yeah, keep diving into the ARC game in the future. If this video was helpful, feel free to comment down below and let me know. If there are any other ways that you tend to get your ARCs, feel free to share that as well. I would love to make this video very accessible to new readers or people who want to kind of get, you know, into ARCs a little bit more, or who would like to start reviewing, yeah, in that way. So thank you all so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all in the next one.